cooking, you can still cook like everyone else?
I can still cook. I swim.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Yes, I can swim. The toughest was, as you mentioned, I have a baby.
Yeah.
So my biggest worry was when I got pregnant. I used to ask, how am I going to handle this baby?
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
A story a day.
A story a day, folks. This one is for the Burkett books. Imagine one day you're involved in an accident, and it's happened to a lot of people. Involved in an accident, and you lose one of your most precious limbs, a hand. What do you do from there? What do you do when you lose a limb? How do you move on? Well, it happened to Harriet Mugweru about 4.5, 5 years ago. And guess what? It didn't stop her at all. She's kept going. She's kept the fire burning. She even has her own YouTube channel. She simply calls herself the Right Hand Lady, because that's all she has, is a right hand. Imagine that. And she found love along the way, and her lover always kept with her and didn't leave her and didn't abandon her. No wonder he's in the church.
And is in studio right here taking pictures of her.
Imagine.
Oh, if you all loved our wives like this,
love.
this would be a very peaceful world.
That is a lot of love.
There'd be no coups. There'd be peace in Sudan,
Harriet.
Ukraine, and Russia.
Yes. Harriet Mugweru joins us live in the studio. The husband, Alex. Welcome, Harriet. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
You have a very good spirit. You know that.
Thank you.
Mm?
Yeah.
And a very pleasant personality.
Yo.
Oh, that was close.
The spirit. Kuna bumps.
Yeah, so take us back. Take us to the very beginning.
Yeah. Before the accident, what were you doing?
Before the accident, I used to work as a receptionist in a construction firm that was located in Gigiri. So, kawaida person, grew up in a family of 5, normal child, went to school here in Nairobi, both primary and high school. And yes, I got a job as a receptionist, and on this fateful day, I was coming from work. It was a Saturday afternoon. So on my way from work, I boarded a matatu from town heading to Utawala. And as we approached the Eastern Bypass, from town, I was watching a movie on my phone. So I had my earphones on, and approaching the Eastern Bypass, someone wanted to alight. So I think the driver was in a high speed. I couldn't notice because I think I was so much into the movie. But when the driver, he was in the innermost lane, the right lane, when he wanted to come to the left so that this person could alight, he noticed that he couldn't stop because there was like a small car in front of us. So he couldn't continue with the same speed that he had. So he went off the road, and that's where we hit the ditch on the left. We didn't roll, we didn't turn, we were just thrown, but I think because of the impact, it was so much. Some of us, I am not sure if I left the first person or I was amongst the last people, but I think I was amongst the first people because I was seated immediately behind the driver and I was thrown to the left. I think I hit my hand to one of those rails of the bus, and all I could remember, I didn't black out, but I also didn't feel the impact. I didn't hear the bus falling. So all I could remember is this boda boda guys telling us, Madam Pitia hapa, like I think it's a windscreen. And yeah, that's where I went through. And when going out, I noticed I couldn't lift my hand the way I'm used to. I couldn't control my hand. And I lifted it with my right hand. I lifted my left hand with my right hand, but I still had my phone. I lost my handbag, the earphones were not there, but my phone had this ring at the back, so I still had it. And I lifted my hand and sat at the pavement, and the boda boda riders flagged down some Good Samaritan who stopped, and she gave us a ride, me and another lady. I think she was just next to me. And we were taken to the, what is this called? The Kenya Airways. They have a clinic somewhere around there. So that's why we were taken for first aid. And mine was an emergency because I was losing a lot of blood. So it was a crash injury. The whole bone was crushed completely. So emergency from there, rushed to Mata, and they did an emergency surgery to put a plate. Yes.
And they amputated from the
above the elbow.
Above the elbow.
Yes, but it wasn't done immediately.
Oh, that's why you said they put a plate.
Yes, they tried to correct it.
Okay.
They tried a lot. So immediately they put a plate that Saturday. On Sunday, Monday, they noticed there was no circulation, because even the veins were cut, no circulation to the fingers. So they tried. I went to another surgery where they tried to remove the clots. They did 2 other surgeries after the first one, the emergency one, to try and move the clots so that they can at least have some circulation. And it didn't work. So a week later, on a Sunday afternoon, as you said, my husband is in church, I'm also in church. So people had come to see me. Once they heard my story, they came to see me. So there were a lot of people in hospital. And in the afternoon, the nurses came and they said, now we want to talk to the family only. And the friends were chased away. And now the doctors, I'd never seen the doctors. I had 3 special doctors, one for the bone, one for the veins, the other one for, I had a lot of doctors. So never had they ever come together. But this time they came together. They started unwrapping the wound. So all this time, they used to hang my hand up so that at least maybe gravity could do something and maybe move the clots down.
Was there pain or anything?
No, I wasn't feeling any pain, but I was being given drugs, morphine, so a lot of morphine, because I'm sure it was painful, but I wasn't feeling any pain. So the doctors started now undoing the bandages, and it was stinking a lot, because now it was septic. It was infected. So once they undid, they started talking to the family, and they told them, now as you can see, this is what we did, this is what we have done so far, and now because of this, we are going to have to amputate. And it didn't hit me at first. I think I was still, me lying there, looking at my family all around me, it hit them more than me. So my mom took her corner, started crying, my dad, my fiance then, and everyone else, it hit them more than me. So I think they noticed I didn't react as they wanted me to react. So they turned to me and they said, Harriet, did you hear what we said? I was like, yes, we are going to amputate your hand. I cried a lot. Because, for one, before I got into that accident, I am a very handy person. So I used to do some beadwork, some sewing. So I thought God had taken away my talent or something. So I was crying, asking God why he is doing all this to me. Because prior to that, I was even looking for a sewing machine. So I was asking, why is he doing this right now? Why me specifically? So, yeah, a few hours after that, I was told not to eat because they had just brought my food. Now, because of the surgery, I was told not to eat. And we went into the surgery. That took a long time, from around 6 up to maybe 11 p.m.
Whoa.
Yes. because now they had to do a lot with the veins and attach in the bone, like a lot of science involved. But now going into the surgery room, I kept on praying. I'm this person who prays, and I think I want this sign for me to believe that, God, you're hearing me. So I kept on saying, God, if you really, this hand is not supposed to be amputated, just make me move. Like, make this tiny finger move or something. Just give me a sign. So I prayed all the way from the ward up to the surgical room, and nothing happened. I was like, maybe I'm praying the wrong prayer. So if this is really my fate, then God, just do something. If you want me to get amputated, do something. And me lying there, you know the theater has a lot of lights. And they flickered. I was like, it's okay, God. Let me do it. I'll do it. And yes, they amputated the hand. And a few hours after that, I was taken out of the room, only to find my whole family, they never left. This is past midnight. They were all there waiting for me, expecting to see me in a very bad state. The only bad state that I was in is the pain. I was feeling a lot, excruciating pain, a lot of pain that morphine couldn't even handle. I was given, like, I think 4 doses of morphine by that time. So I went to bed, and the next morning, wake up as usual, and I sat down. Remember, for a whole week I never sat down because this was like a whole paper bag of flesh. And maybe it was hanged somewhere, so I never woke up for the past week. But this week, for the first time, I sat down, and my brother was sent as the first person to come and check how I was doing. And he came. He asked, is she okay? And when he came, I was seated down, actually taking juice. And he called my family. He's like, guys, come, she's okay, you can come. Because they remembered how I was the previous night. I was even chasing them away. So when he saw me in a good mood, I was like, he called my family, and bas, I started my healing journey. And I went through some counseling, but I tend to believe, or by that time, I believed that my family needed the counseling more. Because they were the ones who were constantly asking, are you okay? But in my head, where I was okay. Because sepsis is not something you joke with. They had told me what I was dealing with, and I had also seen it from my elder sister had it some time back after surgery. So I saw what she went through all the way to HDU. So I didn't want to put my family through that again. So I accepted it and went through counseling. My family also went through counseling. Yes, and after 2 weeks, I was discharged from hospital.
How was the first day out of hospital? Because now being in hospital, there's a counselor, you've gone through the surgery. Now life outside the hospital, in the hospital, there are a lot of also unwell people. Your first day out of hospital, how was it like? I mean, I know people stare, people ask, gosh, what happened?
Yes.
And explaining to everyone, this first person, the second person, the third person, the first person asks a question that everybody just answered. How was it like?
Okay, a joke. I felt lighter because I had lost a few kilos.
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy. The stairs first, people stare a lot.
Yeah.
When you cover yourself too much, like I remember the first time, because now I used to Uber to hospital for checkup and back home all the way. But now the first day I went to work, I put on a very big jacket. I tucked the sleeve in a pocket, and I had a scarf on top.
Yeah.
And it was very hot. So guys were staring because they're like, okay, why are you covering yourself this much with all this heat. And in the afternoon, going back home, I decided to remove the scarf. And they were still staring. Like, where is this limb?
Yeah, it looks a bit off.
Yeah.
You look at someone and they're like, okay, I can see this one, but this one, what's going on the left side?
Yeah, but I was like, I saw a counselor and they were like, you can never please people. They will stare with or without.
Yeah.
So you do you. Wear whatever you want to wear, whatever you're comfortable with, but just be you. So I decided to try and be me and do the things that used to scare me then.
What about the basic things like putting on your clothes, dressing yourself, all that stuff? I mean, it must have been a tough adjustment.
Weirdly, it wasn't tough. It wasn't tough at all. I started Googling. Went to YouTube and looked for videos of people, how they used to dress, maybe zip up and maybe put on socks. There is no enough content, but there is a little. So I Googled, and I tried. Because after, like a week after I came out of hospital, I was in the kitchen cooking.
You can make ugali?
I cook, leave alone ugali, even chapati.
Come on.
Chapati, at least you can. Ugali up to one, one that we like is a really tough one.
I can cook ugali.
You've got your own formula of how
Yes.
to...
And
Yes.
chapati.
Even chapati.
You roll.
From lighting the jiko to kneading the dough, to rolling, even on the stove.
So how do you light? I'm a user lighter to light the jiko.
No.
You put the box and then you chop real quick, like a movie character.
Then you leave it.
But I guess it gets to a point where you adopt, because this guy who came is a motivational speaker. I think he's from Australia or US. The guy's then he's limbless, but he's a motivational speaker.
Okay.
He's got no arms, no legs,
yeah.
and he can swim. Me with my belly filled with air and 4 limbs. If you show me depend, I'm like, wait, I've got things to do. You know what I mean? So what are the things that now you adopted, just got a new way of doing that most people are even awed now?
Yes, as
Because you mentioned cooking, you can still cook like everyone else.
I can still cook. I swim.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Yes, I can swim. The toughest was, as you mentioned, I have a baby.
Yeah.
So my biggest worry was when I got pregnant, I used to ask, how am I going to handle this baby? But now when she came, it was easy. I could one day lift the baby, the next I'm changing the diaper, the next I'm dressing the baby, and I even carry the baby to church. Yeah.
And still do other things with that same one arm.
Yes.
Wow.
Makofi kwako, okay. In fact, at this particular point, now talk to the people who something small happens to them, and I don't want to make it look bad or belittle it, but something happens, and then the
think
whole
it's the end of the world.
comes to an end. Maybe you lose a finger, or maybe you have an accident like yours, or...
In hospital, there's this wise woman who came to me, and me asking, at that moment I was asking God, why me? Why he chose me to go through all this? Because as I told you, I was engaged. So each time I used to go for surgery, I kept on asking, have you ever dealt with such a case? Am I going to lose my hand? Remember, I'm engaged. I need to get married.
Oh, to him.
This hand is the one that is wearing the ring, so please.
It's one for holding his left cheek and this, and then you say, oh, I do not.
Yes. So this lady, she pulled me on the side and asked, Ted, if this didn't happen to you, who would you choose to go through all this? So for a moment I even thought, I kept quiet, looked at my enemies, if I have any, looked at my friends, looked at my family, and I was like, no, there's no one. I wouldn't choose this for anyone. So, and I say, God wouldn't give you something that you wouldn't handle. Whatever you're given, he knows you can handle. So if you're going through something, just know you can handle it. It might take some time, because I also didn't get out of the hospital knowing all these things. It has taken me almost 5 years to be here and do some of the things that I'm doing right now. So just take your time, believe in God, and believe in yourself. You can do it.
And try stuff until you get to learn.
Yes.
Were you afraid that your boyfriend would leave you?
I was. I even kept on asking him, are you going to leave me? I was like, if I was to leave you, because he's the one who came for me, immediately I called him when we were being taken for the first aid. I was like, babe, I've gotten into an accident. He's like, aye? How? He was expecting, I'm telling him, I've gotten home. So he came immediately. So he was telling me, if I was to leave you, I would have left you then. When I saw your situation then, I would have left you then. So he's like, no, I'm not going anywhere.
And he's been with you since, and you married him. And
yes.
After that, if he wasn't there, what do you think would have happened?
It would have been hard, really hard, because this is someone that I have known for some time, since 2015. So for the accident to come and happen in 2019, those are almost 4 years of knowing someone. So it's starting to explain all your stories to someone new, someone who won't understand you with or without, it would have been hard, really hard.
How did you guys meet?
We met in church. Okay, he says he saw me in church the first time, but I don't remember.
You were concentrating on the sermon, him he was just picking Darbin.
Yes. And since I was in leadership then, I was in charge of hospitality. He says I served him something. But I don't remember. But what I remember, we went for a seminar. That's where we met.
And then the rest, as they say,
is history.
Now, there's a time you wrote a letter to your left hand. What did you say?
Wow. So the letter to my left hand, I was writing to it, asking so many things. If it was here, how would it be? How is it where it is right now? Would life be different if the left hand was here with me? So, yeah, it was at that moment when I decided to just dedicate something to the fallen soldier.
Let me ask you, do you, like after they chop it off and everything, do you get like some closure time with it? You know, I'm trying to imagine, like I'd have to like say bye-bye to my hands in quotes.
You don't even, because you're asleep.
Oh, so you wake up and things have changed.
Yes,
and they tell you
but they ask in hospital if you want to get your limb after.
What do you mean? And do what with it?
I don't know. Maybe bury it or something.
You know, for closure, eh?
Yes, they do ask. Because they asked me before I was put to sleep.
Yeah.
Do you want to get your limb? I was like, no. I don't want it. Yes.
Wow.
When did you decide to begin this YouTube channel? What inspired you to do that?
When I got married, guys kept on asking me to do a channel. Because I used to do small videos for my Instagram, my Facebook. But when I got married, we went for our honeymoon. And he was like, no, you're not covering yourself anymore. So I used to go there with tank tops and all. Guys would look at me, but he's there for me. So he would walk with me hand in hand. And I didn't feel anything. Even when I came back now to our area, I could still go with like a t-shirt. And he would walk with me. Then we used to enjoy him. And I'd tell him, now I'm making you a celeb. You're walking with a lady without a hand. You're that guy in that estate. So he pushed me, and family and friends also pushed me to do a YouTube channel and just showed the world or people how I do my things. Because as I told you, there's no content on YouTube about how these things are done. So you'd go on YouTube to check how to zip a jacket with one hand. Nothing. Ama, it's just somewhere out there, maybe done 10 years ago. Things have changed. Maybe we have different buttons, maybe we have, it's just something. So since I didn't get content to help me through that journey, I had to start something.
What's it called?
The Right Hand Lady, or Harriet. No, it's Tet Mugweru. Tet, yes, T-E-T. Tet is my nickname, so it's Tet Mugweru, or the Right Hand Lady.
Tet is short for what?
Harriet.
Oh, Harriet.
Yes.
Tet.
Yes.
During our time, if you're Harriet, you became Harry. I don't know how that changed. Now play with you. So do you sometimes, like if someone was staring, do you like sometimes if someone stares too long, you just lift that arm and point at them? Oh, you do? You look like you would.
Yes.
Then they look down.
Yes, we do that a lot.
Yeah.
We do that a lot.
That seems like his idea.
Yes. We do that a lot. When someone is approaching,
Yes.
then he stares and he's like, do you know this guy? Like, he'd ask, do you know this guy? Like, so that they can feel shame on them
Right.
and look away.
Yeah.
Or he comes on this side and pulls the sleeve that doesn't have a doesn't have an arm.
Yeah. If I should point against that arm and say, where utanguka?
I'll try that.
Then guys stop staring.
Yeah.
Other than YouTube, what do you do now? What else do you do?
So, as I told you, I used to work as a receptionist. So when COVID came, we were told to work from home. And we all know that as a receptionist, you can't work from home. So when guys were called back, I wasn't called back. And that is how I lost my job. So recently, I got a job as a call center agent. That is where I'm working for this month only. Because they also said they're not renewing my contract.
Any
from
reason?
August.
Any reason, or is it just?
They said there is no work. I miss making my hair. That's the only
So I
thing.
guess that's his new responsibility.
He did this.
He did a good job.
Like-
You can play this, Alex.
Yes.
Hey,
You're done with the braids. Oh, back off. In fact, come to the mic. We talk to you a little bit. You are an example of how men should be.
Alex,
Yes, Jeff.
karibu sana.
Asante.
Evangelist, huh?
Yes.
I will give us a quick sermon here and use that voice for Bwana amesema and action. Ama it's not all churches,
It's not all that's, I think,
the breakaway ones.
those one are the lost sheep.
They have to do miracles every time.
Yeah, but a quick one,
Yeah.
Isaiah 23 and verses 18 to 19. I'm doing a new thing. That is God saying to the Israelites, I'm doing a new thing. Yeah.
Oh, it ends there.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
doing
one
a new-
line.
No, it's not just forget about the former things and do not focus on the past, but I'm doing a new thing. I am doing a new thing. So when you hear the word I am, it is God saying, I am doing a new thing. Because he told Moses, I am have sent you. So when I am speaks, he's doing a new thing. Indeed, he's doing a new thing.
Amen.
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 I am.
Aya,
I
toa
am.
sadaka tupatie.
So you stuck with this woman.
Yes.
You didn't abandon her.
No.
Did you ever think, something, at some point did your friends tell you, hey, where bana, niaji?
Not only friends, but also some family members will be like, okay, you're getting married to a lady who has only one limb. So how are you going to cope with life? How are you going to get children? Sorry.
You didn't share them a link from online, you show them how children are made.
My question exactly was, do you get pregnant holding a baby or
Or through your arms?
yes.
Yeah.
But these the question that kept on coming was, what if it was me? What will I wish, or what will I want her to do for me? Will I want her to stick with me, be there for me? So I placed myself in her shoe first, so that I can be there for her. And so far so good. I thank God where we are. Even for the support, more so my dad. and my mom. They supported us, and my dad will encourage me, you know, and because first she was my friend before being my fiancée and my wife. She is a friend to me. Yes,
Nice.
yeah.
And now she's the mother of your daughter.
Yes.
What's your daughter's name?
Zemira Wambui Jenga.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, she doesn't realize what's going on with mom yet, huh?
No.
She has no clue.
Yes.
I think she knows.
Nowadays,
I think she knows.
Yes.
She takes advantage.
yes.
What do you mean?
When
She comes
feeding,
to your left side in case she has
yes.
done
When
something
feeding
else.
her, if I'm-
When feeding,
Yeah.
if I'm the one feeding her,
Yeah.
she will disturb me proper. When dad is the one feeding her,
She's
she'll
cool.
eat.
What?
yes. And now even our nephew and nieces will come and try to lift her limb like this.
And play
Auntie,
with this.
What happened, Auntie? Where's your arm?
Yeah.
Mostly there is one of our niece, because she's very sharp, and immediately after the accident she would ask, Auntie, what happened? She's called Zana. Where's your limb? What happened to your arm? We tried to tell her that we left it in hospital, we'll get it again, and she never agreed until we explained. And she's 5 years right now, 6. Yeah.
But I know kids are more intelligent than the
Yes.
days when you ask, where do
Yes.
kids come
So
from?
my daughter right now, she can figure out. Mommy has one arm, so
If I run, she won't
she
catch
won't
me as
catch
fast
me.
as daddy.
Yes.
In fact, if she keeps left, she won't be caught.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's good to also accept that, you know, people will take advantage.
Yeah. True.
Just
True,
be happy
yeah.
about it because you can't change the past, isn't it?
Yes.
But we also take advantage. We get some discounts due to this.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Like where? Can you get an discount that Simba called right now? We got buy a BMW.
We should try.
Because I remember there is a time we got 2 tickets for a movie, and we were looking forward to go for a movie that year, and I was like, I don't have money. And then she went to the shop for the gowns and everything. She came with 2 tickets, and then I was like, yeah, you know.
And you're giving her a discount or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
There's some humanity out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There are people who are kind.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, you know, I'll just say, you know, sometimes when somebody is going through something and you are in a position to help, just help. Because one day you might be in the same position. And if you think that running away from someone's predicaments is a solution, then yours is coming. Because at the end of the day, I always say, sorry for preaching a lot, I always say that love gets to conquer everything. Because Christ himself said, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul.
With all your mind.
And with all your mind. And the second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. So if I love you, Jeff, I'll not do anything negative. If I love my wife, I'll not do anything negative towards her.
Kwani mimi useme if you love me?
If I love me, yes.
Sitaki love yako. Sitaki.
You've never heard that verse, so why should he love you? You've never heard it.
I think I should call for an altar call. Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
thank you so much for
That's
for
amazing.
everything, for
Yeah.
being there for her, for you also trying to reach out and help others.
Harriet,
because it's through your strength and your journey that you help pick someone up. Because you know, there's a lot of negativity in the world. Even when you are whole, there'll be some negativity here and there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that helps a lot of people to pick themselves up if they don't have a support system like you do.
Alex, you've been a great blessing to her.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Ni
And thank-
church gani hiyo I come visit. Labda
okay.
naweza pata msichana mrembo kama huyu.
Yes. Wako
utanitumia pin.
nitakutumia pin ukikaa Mtawala, ACK St. Catherine Utawala. Yes,
asante sana.
utaipata pale.
Utawala.
But,
You remember that name.
Unaweza kuja unihate because you never know, we get transferred.
No, sana nitakuja tu because of the congregation. Utawala
So,
ACK. Wewe ukae tu home.
Sawa. Thank you.
Alex Jenga, Harriet Mugweru, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. God
Yeah.
bless you. And
God bless you too.
thanks so much for your story. Keep doing what you do. Again, if people want to find out more on YouTube, where do they go?
they search for Tet Mugweru, or they can search for the right-hand lady.
The right-hand lady.
Yes.
What a story. You must write a book one day, huh?
I would, and I think I already have the title, so I only want the content.
Yes. Quickly
yes.
go and copyright that title, huh?
Yes, so
The right-hand
I always
lady.
say this one quote. So gratitude turns what you have into enough. So if you're grateful for this one limb that you have, it's enough for you.
Just be grateful.
Yeah.
Nicholas, are you listening?
Yes.
Be grateful. Huh?
I am very grateful. Thank you, Jesus.
This is what we call